This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4. Beautiful afternoon today across much of southern Wisconsin.
Yeah, but we know spring means the weather can turn on a dime, so we're tracking alert day conditions for tomorrow. This idyllic scene in Platteville doesn't look like it'll last for too much longer, unfortunately.
Let's get a look at the forecast. Jacob Montesano is out on the weather patio. Good place to be this afternoon. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Susan. Yeah, conditions right now are just about perfect. Looking up, there's barely any clouds in the sky. Temperature at 71 degrees. It is just about perfect, as I said. But unfortunately, good things will not last forever. Now, first, here's a look at the temperatures across our region. Off to the west, there are a few locations kind of getting close to 80. I expect these are roughly the high temperatures we will see today. I don't expect temperatures to actually get up to 80, but they are fairly close off to the west. Now, looking at the evening forecast, it's going to remain very comfortable. 60s throughout the evening, maybe dropping into the upper 50s by the end of it, but 50s are the lows forecasted for tonight. And then tomorrow we have the severe weather possibility. There's a marginal risk for our entire area. This will mostly be during the day, and this is for all of southern Wisconsin. So we could see some strong storms, but we're going to see 2 rounds of rainfall. And the first round won't produce severe weather, but the second one will. And I'll talk more in detail about that and show you the timing of the rainfall coming up a little bit later.
Thank you, Jacob. Today, students in Mount Horeb returned to school for the first time since the threat on Wednesday shut down the district.
The message from the community is Mount Horeb strong. Over the weekend, parents and community members made sure that students had something to lighten the load as they returned today. Messages of support were written in chalk in front of the schools. Those messages are just one part of the care these students can get. Therapy dogs and counselors are also still available to Mount Horeb students. Meanwhile, we're learning more about the investigation into the armed student who was shot down by police last Wednesday.
Our Maddie Heimsch is at the Mount Horeb School District with those details and the community support we're seeing on this first day back. Maddie?
Yeah, Brady, Susan, the middle school was just dismissed. We saw those students get picked up by their parents after that first day back. And while they returned to class, we did get more information from the Department of Justice on the investigation into Wednesday's events. According to the DOJ, Mount Horeb police officers responded to a call about a suspect approaching the middle school with what appeared to be a gun. When they arrived, officers directed the suspect to put down the weapon, but when the suspect didn't comply, officers shot and killed him. The weapon he was carrying has since been identified as a pellet rifle. I sat down with a school safety expert today to discuss the landscape of school violence and why we're seeing weapons of any kind on school grounds.
I don't know that there is super compelling evidence that like Columbine was a thing that made school shootings more common or something like that. But it does seem to have shaped the way that the public kind of thinks about schools and school violence.
Ben Fisher of UW-Madison studies school criminalization, which is essentially elements of the criminal justice system appearing in schools, including surveillance, police officers, and security mechanisms. Fisher says placing those elements in schools can make students feel more safe, but it can also make them fearful of the possibility of violence occurring in their schools. But right now, Mount Horeb is doing what they can to make these students feel as secure as possible. We'll have more coming up right here on Live at 4. For now, reporting live in Mount Horeb, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. And just as Maddie was saying, coming up at 4:45 this afternoon, we'll be sitting down with Mount Horeb Superintendent Dr. Steve Salerno. He'll join us to discuss how the district is helping students return to a sense of normalcy.
As the investigation continues, we are bringing updates as soon as we learn them to our free Channel 3000 mobile app. You can find it by searching WISC-TV wherever you get your apps.
Today marks 1 week since the pro-Palestine protest and encampment started on Library Mall on UW-Madison's campus.
And now faculty is showing solidarity with the protesters. Jalen Banks joins us from Bascom Hill with the latest on the campus protest.
Brady and Susan, now what's taking place just behind me is the UW-Madison Senate faculty meeting. Now, as Brady just mentioned, faculty and staff standing in solidarity with protesters and UW-Madison students. Now, this afternoon, protesters and the faculty and staff marched from Library Mall all the way up to Bascom Hall. As of right now, they are inside of the meeting, listening to what the chancellor has to say, and they're hoping as well to be able to speak during the Senate meeting as well. The march itself I would describe as impassioned, not just from faculty, staff, and students, but they were also met by a small group of pro-Israeli counter-protesters as well. Now, Chancellor Mnuchin during the meeting had just spoke, and she emphasizes that the university's stance on encampments remains the same, and that they cannot make exceptions for any encampments whatsoever. And as I mentioned, the meeting is still going on. I believe that there is somebody representing the encampment and the protest speaking at this time. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout the night. For now, reporting inside of Bascom Hall, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. Meanwhile, in New York, the spark that set off student protests continues to grow. At Columbia University, the administration is canceling its graduation plans due to the protests. This decision comes after weeks of protests at the school, with pro-Palestinian demonstrators calling for the university to divest from Israel. Columbia will instead hold school-level ceremonies over the next 2 weeks. The student newspaper partnered with New York Magazine to show an inside perspective of the protests and the university's response.
And we've spoken to these students who said that the risk that was on the line for them when it came to arrest, suspension, and now expulsion being on the line is very severe and very significant. And it was sort of despite that, I am participating because, and there's sort of their belief, it's like if the people in Gaza are experiencing this, I can kind of go through this discomfort or this even challenge.
Columbia is not the first school forced to change plans as demonstrations continue. Last week, the University of Southern California also canceled its commencement and instead will hold an event at the LA Coliseum for many of these students. And this will be their second missed graduation after COVID-19 canceled high school ceremonies in 2020. As student protests continue across the country, former President Donald Trump is weighing in. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said the primary reason for all of these terrible protests is crooked Joe Biden. This comes days after Biden said the protests have not changed his approach to Israel's war in Gaza. Just last week, the president said order must prevail on college campuses. Well, in 2 days, President Biden is returning to Wisconsin for his 4th visit of the year. His last visit was here in Madison on April 8th. While in town, he announced a new plan to bring relief to millions of student borrowers. On Wednesday, the president is visiting Racine, and the White House says Biden will be delivering remarks on his Investing in America agenda. Coming up next on Live at 4, former President Trump's hush money trial continues. Why the president has to pay the court more money in fines, and we'll have the latest developments from the courtroom next on Live at 4.
At Gruber Law Offices, you pay us nothing until we win your case. It costs you nothing up front to get the results and compensation you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Backyard living season is here. Coolview has great solutions to beat the backyard blues and save 15 to 25%. Cover your deck with a screen porch, an enclosed porch, or sunroom. If you have a screen porch, let us turn it into an enclosed porch. Shade your patio with a pergola or awning. All on sale now. Let Coolview show you how to tame your backyard blues. Call now for a quote before the sun sets on savings.
Get a new view from Coolview.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-357-3263 or go to sonobello.com.
In a Class 3 casino, you're playing against the house, so there's no guarantee a player has to win, ever. And in a Class 2 casino, the players play against each other and not the house, so someone always wins.
So you're saying... He's saying if you want to win at something, you have to go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, a Class 2 casino where someone has to win.
How about this then?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Nobody wants to replace the roof. But these days, many roofs are only lasting 10 to 15 years, costing you tens of thousands of dollars. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. RoofMax treatments, started early enough, can extend the life of your roof by 15 years or more. And even if you think your roof is at the end of its life, 90% of the time, RoofMax can extend the life of your roof by 5 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. So give us a call and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
I thought with everything going on, we could all use a little smile break. So this one is on Gruber Law Offices. You're welcome.
Former President Donald Trump's so-called hush money trial resumed this morning with the judge again holding the former president in contempt.
He warned Trump that if he continues violating the gag order, he could face jail time. Jared Hill reports from New York.
Before walking into the courtroom Monday morning, former President Donald Trump railed against the gag order imposed by the judge overseeing his criminal trial in New York.
I was in Miami this weekend, and reporters are asking me questions, the same questions like you're asking me, and I have to say I have a gag order, I can't speak about it. Never happened before, ever.
Inside the courtroom, Judge Juan Rashon found Trump in contempt once again, this time for comments he made about the jury in an interview last month. The judge fined Trump $1,000, then noted that since the fines don't appear to have an effect, going forward, the former president could risk jail time. Judge Merchan told Mr. Trump, the last thing I want to do is put you in jail. You're a former president of the United States, and possibly the next one as well. But Merchan said the gag violations constitute a direct attack on the rule of law, which I cannot allow to continue. The former president maintains he should be able to speak freely.
It is unconstitutional, and it shouldn't be allowed. And I wish people could move a little bit quicker, the appellate courts, because the whole world is watching this.
Trump is charged with falsifying business records in connection with payments his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 presidential election. On the stand Monday, a former controller for the Trump Organization, Jeffrey McConney, testified about his role in arranging payments to Cohen, which the prosecution says were reimbursements. Trump denies any wrongdoing. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
The United States Secret Service wouldn't comment specifically on what would happen if Trump were jailed, but said in a statement it studies location and develops protective models to safeguard its protectees.
South Dakota Republican Governor Kristi Noem is defending her book, No Going Back, which drew early criticism over a passage about killing her own dog. Speaking on CBS Mornings, Noem said she shot her 14-month-old wire-haired pointer because it was a threat. Another anecdote in the book is also drawing criticism. Noem recalled meeting North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. The publisher posted on social media that the passage is being removed, but Noem wouldn't clarify whether the encounter actually happened.
It's a simple question. Did you or did you not meet with Kim Jong-un?
That's the answer that I have for you, is that it will be adjusted, and as soon as I became aware of it, that content was removed.
Noem hit back at former UN ambassador and GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley for saying that she was never going to run against former President Donald Trump. Previously mentioned on short lists as Trump searches for a running mate, it is unclear how Noem's book has impacted her vice presidential prospects.
British actor Bernard Hill has died. Hill was best known for his supporting roles in Titanic and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. In Titanic, he played the ship's Captain Edward Smith. It was an iconic role that showed him alone near the ship's end, clutching the doomed vessel's helm as rising water burst through the windows. Hill's other film roles included Gandhi, Shirley Valentine, and The Scorpion King. He was 79 years old. Well, let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Meteorologist Jacob Montesano has that right now. A beautiful day out there.
Yeah, it is a beautiful one, but unfortunately we are going to see some storms tomorrow. And looking at the three things you need to know, we are going to possibly be seeing more rainfall Wednesday into Thursday. And by the time we get to Thursday, temperatures are expected to be cooler. But looking at the alert day information for Tuesday, we are going to see some strong storms, especially during the afternoon and evening, with all of southern Wisconsin under the risk of severe weather. And again, this will be during the daytime on Tuesday. Looking at the current radar, not seeing anything right now. Likely not going to see anything for about the next 10 to 12 hours. But as we look at the severe weather outlook for your Tuesday, there is a marginal risk for everyone in our viewing area. Now, looking at that forecast, we are going to see some clouds roll in around sunset, but otherwise we're going to be dry for most of the night. And then we're going to see some of those showers and storms move into the western portion of our area just before sunrise. And the rest of our area will see some rainfall around and the few hours after sunrise. This first round of precipitation could bring some heavy rainfall, but it is unlikely we will see any severe weather with this first round of rain. And then as we get towards the afternoon, we are going to see dry conditions, and just how warm it gets during the afternoon will depend on how much severe weather our area could see. If we don't get that warm, it may keep all the severe weather to the south of us, but there is a chance we could see a few severe thunderstorms during the evening hours. As we get closer to midnight, though, a lot of this rain will have cleared out of the area, and then we are expecting dry conditions for the first part of Wednesday, but then some lighter showers are possible Wednesday evening. So looking at the precipitation forecast, a lot of this will change depending on where some of these thunderstorms occur. So there could be some areas up to an inch, and also some areas maybe as low as a tenth of an inch, simply because the storms during the evening may be pretty isolated. So a few locations may miss out on that heavy rain altogether. But looking at the impacts, we are going to see some hail. That looks to be the biggest threat, with wind and tornadoes being a little bit lesser of a factor. A very small chance of a tornado, but at this point we aren't expecting a 0% chance, so we have to at least mention it. So looking at the 7 to 10 day forecast, we are going to see those cooler temperatures for Thursday, with highs only in the upper 50s. But then they will slowly warm back up to around 70, at least the highs will, by the time we get to next work week. But overall, nothing too extreme in the 10-day forecast. We do have the alert day tomorrow, but beyond that, we are still seeing temperatures fairly close to average, even though they will be below the average level on Thursday, Friday, and also Saturday. We do have a few other chances of rainfall. Looks like we could see some showers Saturday, maybe some showers and storms for the middle of next week. And like I mentioned, we could see that rain for Wednesday night into Thursday. Once again, severe weather possible tomorrow with 2 rounds of precipitation. The first round in the morning, not expected to produce severe weather, but the second round of pop-up showers and storms could produce a few strong ones.
Thank you, Jacob. A new experimental gene therapy is giving hope to some people born with a form of blindness. That's according to trial results published today in the New England Journal of Medicine. 14 patients underwent a surgical procedure involving injecting the gene editing therapy under the retina of one of their eyes. Researchers said most of the trial participants had meaningful improvement in their vision 3 months later. They said the results were sustained during subsequent visits, and there were no serious side effects. However, they note that the therapy remains experimental and should be tested on a larger group of people.
In more local news, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is asking people to protect the state's amphibians. It's part of National Amphibian Week, which runs through Saturday. Wisconsin has 19 different species that naturalists use to determine the health of the environment. The DNR is asking people to avoid using insecticides, which can affect these animals' food sources. Among other things you can do to help, the DNR is asking you to create a toad abode using brush piles and rocks that toads and frogs can hide under.
Well, the American Family Children's Hospital has a new furry friend to help the kids at the hospital feel better during their stay. His name is Archie. Hello, Archie.
Look at the smile on his face.
Well, he's only a little over a year and a half old, but Archie is joined by his handler, Maggie Goldbach. The two make up a team providing help for children in distress. The Golden Doodle joined the hospital's Child Life team back in March, but today our team got the chance to say hi.
He allows me to be able to educate patients about their diagnosis, help distract patients through procedures, and help normalize the hospital environment for them. I'm truly honored to have him as a partner to work alongside me.
Archie is currently working as part of the pediatric hematology and oncology team, and he lives with Goldbach.
That is a gorgeous dog.
Yeah.
Good boy, Archie.
Good boy.
Coming up next on Live at 4, a big hit at the box office this weekend.
Will Loper is back with everything you need to know about the new action movie in theaters now. That's next when Live at 4 continues.
Have your best summer ever with Bachman's Mother's Day Pool Sale. Save 25% off all in-stock above-ground radiant pools. Visit our showrooms in Madison and Brookfield and save.
Go ahead, relax. It's Bachman's.
Save on new Champion windows during replacement window season. Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy 2, you get 2 free.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, your home needs our windows. We design, build, install, and guarantee it for life. We have enough hands to help you every step of the way.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks.
Buy 2, get 2 won't last long. Call or schedule online at getchampionwindows.com.
It's Good News, Madison, brought to you by Don's Home Furniture.
This year, we're really excited to announce that the night market is expanding. So we're extending up the Y, so that is Mifflin Street and Carroll Street. That way, we're able to add 20 more vendors. We're so excited to welcome the entire community to downtown Madison to see the Madison Night Market, interact with us. Our opening date is Thursday, May 9th, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., and we can't wait to see everybody down there.
Our city has a pulse. Steps from bustling and wild. Come find familiar. Experience new. Live in our rhythm and stay.
We're a really busy family of 6 and moving into a new house, and Empire made it really easy.
They brought samples to our house, quality products, and installation on our schedule.
And we're really happy with everything.
800-588-2300 Empire.
What you see here is an irresistibly special gift that just moments before was filled with the world's most delicious snacks from Nuts.com. Nuts, dried fruits, sweets, and other treats. All her favorites in one special tray of tasty temptation. Freshly roasted to perfection or freshly baked, dipped, seasoned, or popped to satisfy every craving. Create your own combination for Mother's Day or choose from Nuts.com's gift baskets and tins with every flavor of happy. Get 20% off plus free shipping on your first order.
Patio doors, patio doors. Scott the window guy can do patio doors. Scott the window guy can do patio doors.
We do patio doors at scottthewindowguy.com.
Have your best summer ever with Bachman's Mother's Day Pool Sale. Save 25% off all in-stock above-ground radiant pools. Visit our showrooms in Madison and Brookfield and save.
Go ahead, relax. It's Bachman's.
The box office saw a few new releases this weekend, but only one managed to make a splash, even if it was a small one.
I guess not everything is Barbie. Will Loper is back with a look at the action-packed new release that had viewers on the edge of their seats.
Hey, Susan and Brady. The newest film in theaters, The Fall Guy, didn't quite hit the high numbers it was hoping for. Instead, the film made just $28 million. But should you race to theaters to see it?
In 3, 2, 1, action.
Ryan Gosling stars as stuntman Colt Seavers, who has a history with film director Jody Marino, played by Emily Blunt.
Anyone but him. I didn't approve him. You know that. You are literally the last person on earth I want to see.
When the lead actor of Jodie's latest movie goes missing, it's up to Colt to find him and maybe save the day in the process.
You find Ryder, save Jodie's film. You get the love of your life back.
Why me?
You're a stuntman. Nobody's going to notice you. That's your job. No offense.
I mean, some taken.
The film is, of course, packed with action and stunts, as you might expect. The standout is a fight atop a garbage truck racing through the city.
This is an epic story. Of cosmic proportions.
But it's Ryan Gosling who truly elevates this movie. After his performance as Ken in last year's Barbie, Gosling is quickly cementing his status as a comedic force to be reckoned with.
You can make it, you can make it. You can't make it. It's too dangerous. Gotta be stairs. Okay.
The Fall Guy is a blast from start to finish, striking the perfect balance between humor and action, and is absolutely worth seeing in theaters now.
You want to die?
For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
This stuntman's crazy.
The Fall Guy does look good. The Fall Guy is available in theaters now. It will be running for the next few weeks.
So, get your tickets while you can. See, I was going to go, but then I didn't. And now I'm to blame for that box office.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brittany. Well, anyway, coming up next on Live at 4, the 2024 presidential election is just around the corner, and one city just lost its elections official.
We're diving into the impact of this decision and how it could affect voters of Wisconsin.
Hi, it's Preston with Window World, your locally owned and nationally known window company located right here in Madison. Come see what our Window World family can do for your next remodel.
Larson's Platinum Storm Door is the perfect marriage of strength and beauty. For a limited time only, when you purchase a Window World entry door, you'll get $100 off a Larson Platinum Storm Door.
Visit windowworldmadison.com or
call us today.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Service and savings. It's Woodman's.
Hi, we're the Woodmans. I'm Clint.
I'm Phil, saving you big-time money on honey and tea.
12-ounce Bargain Bee honey, just 2 for $5. Or 20-count Bigelow tea, 2 for $5.
Hi, caramba, hot prices on honey and tea.
Bargain Bee, 2 for $5. Bigelow, also 2 for $5.
Enjoy honey and tea season and save lots of money.
Better products, better prices, better service, because we're employee-owned.
It's Woodman's.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
This Mother's Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
With Sweeto Metal Roofing, you get quality metal roofs installed by the best in the business. A metal roof means no fading, no storm repairs, true sustainability, and lower energy bills.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now live at 4, moving forward.
Oh, that looks like a nice shot. Things are greening up out there pretty well now.
And blossoming too, the lilacs and everything else. The weather words for today, stormy weather ahead. It's hard to believe on such a beautiful afternoon.
I know. Can we keep this?
Like it is today. It feels a little bit like summertime out there. It's warm. Jacob is out on the patio. When does this begin?
Well, this will begin very early tomorrow, but right now still seeing very nice weather. The birds are chirping very loudly out here. That's a sign that just shows just how nice it is out here. So 70s across really the entire area, 60s off to the east, and during the evening it's going to remain very nice as 60s throughout the entire evening. Overnight lows will only be in the middle 50s, and then we have the alert day for tomorrow. Now, a good chunk of the day may actually be dry, and that dry weather will actually fuel the possible severe weather later in the afternoon and evening, but we are going to see a round of rain early in the day. However, that first round of rain will likely not produce severe weather. So here's a look at the alert day information. This is for all of southern Wisconsin simply because our entire area is under that marginal risk, and this will mostly be during the day on Tuesday. So let's take a look at the forecast, and I'll show you when the rain's going to start. Most of the night will be dry, but then some showers are going to move into the western portion of our region just before sunrise, and then most of our area will see rainfall during the morning. Could be heavy at times, but we're unlikely going to see severe weather with this first round of precipitation. The dry weather in the afternoon will then fuel the possible severe weather later in the day, and I'll talk more in detail about that coming up a little bit later.
Thank you, Jacob. Just 6 months before this fall's elections, Wisconsin's largest city has let go of its top elections official.
Political reporter Will Keneally has more on the impact this will have.
Yeah, so this isn't just an issue impacting Milwaukee. What happens there impacts elections across the state. So, for example, if you're a Madison Democrat and you want Joe Biden to win statewide, you need Democrats in Milwaukee to turn out. So on Monday, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson announced that he's nominating a new person to take over running the city's elections from the previous director, Claire Woodall-Vogue. A spokesperson for Johnson said the decision was made due to internal concerns, but did not go into detail. We spoke with Madison City Attorney Mike Haas, who previously ran the state's Elections Commission, about how complicated it would be for a new director to take over.
In Milwaukee, there's the benefit, as I said, of having a staff around that person who is heading the agency, who are familiar with what their responsibilities are. And you're not relying only on the clerk or a small number of clerk staff.
We'll have more on this tonight at 6. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
We will see you at 6, Will. Thank you. At the state capitol today, Governor Evers once again called on Republicans to release funds to fight PFAS pollution. The governor is asking Republicans on the state's Joint Finance Committee to release $125 million. That money would go toward PFAS cleanup and regulation. It's the second time the governor has called a special meeting of the committee after Republicans did not show up back in April.
A 54-year-old woman is dead after a motorcycle crash in the town of Springfield. At 3:40 yesterday afternoon, Dane County Sheriff's deputies responded to a crash near the Missouri Tavern on northbound U.S. Highway 12 near Kickapoo Road. Authorities found the 54-year-old woman who operated the motorcycle and pronounced her dead at the scene. U.S. Highway 12 between Highway 19 and Meffert Road were closed for 4 hours. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office will release the woman's identity at a later date. The cause of the crash remains under investigation by the Sheriff's Office.
A quick update for anyone who uses Madison's bike path. Starting today, part of the Southwest bike path will close. Construction is taking place from East Campus Mall to West Wash. The path will reopen at 5 o'clock Friday evening. Until then, a detour route will direct cyclists north of and east of Campus Mall.
The stock market closed today with a short uptick as investors hope for a rate cut from the Fed. The Dow Jones is up 176 points, the Nasdaq rose 192 points, and the S&P is up 52. There's a team of students at UW who are set to present their findings on errors and bias created by two popular social media apps' AI tools.
Our Kyle Pozorski joins us now with more on their findings. Kyle?
Well, the group looked at Instagram and TikTok, looking at what the apps are doing with user images. I got a hands-on look of their study last week. PhD student Jack West tells me their custom software took over a year to build to look at what the apps were analyzing. On TikTok, they found each time you open the camera, it begins looking at the subject of the image, then analyzing your age and gender. Now, this can be helpful for facial recognition or to verify a person's age, but through their data, they found these apps' vision models are very unreliable. It's all very interesting, and I'm going to have my full report coming up tonight at 5.
Yeah, and so why does the data being inaccurate even matter then?
It matters because sometimes parents will use these apps to have parental controls over their kids. They go through and have all this stuff where they say, you know, I don't want my kid to be using TikTok. And so if there's a facial recognition, it can get the kids' ages wrong. We actually found that a lot of the time through the study that the babies were sometimes being shown and analyzed as they were 13 to 18 years old.
Oh, that is interesting. And you got an opportunity to actually try out this software, right? What was it like?
They took a picture of me. I held the phone up to myself, and it came back, I was a 45-year-old man. And there was only a 95 probability that I was a man, in fact. So, I mean, they got the gender right, but they didn't get the age right. So, again, it introduces those errors in this program. So, if you're doing any of this facial recognition stuff, it's getting this wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, the camera doesn't do any of us any favors, does it?
No.
Just need all the light.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Very, very interesting. And what time is your full report?
It's coming up tonight at 5.
At 5. Okay,
Yes.
great. Kyle, we'll see you at
Thank
5.
you, Kyle.
Thanks.
Well, coming up next on Live at 4, an update to the Israel-Hamas war.
The details of a new ceasefire deal and the response from Israel so far. That's next when Live at 4 returns.
Attention Wisconsin. Get ready for Tundraland's first ever mega sale event. Is your bath tired looking, in need of a serious upgrade? Our mega sales event is the best time to get your new bath or shower from Tundraland. Check this out. Call now, get free installation, a free accent wall upgrade, and be payment free until 2025.
800 Tundraland. Tundraland.com.
Salon Pass Lidocaine Flex, a super thin, flexible patch with maximum OTC strength lidocaine that contours to the body to relieve pain right where it hurts. And did we mention it really, really sticks? Salon Pass, it's good medicine.
TDS Fiber Internet makes our home smarter. Working, playing, living, learning. It's all better with TDS Fiber Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's award-winning internet served up by friendly local folks. It's what keeps us connected. And isn't that what it's all about? Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
Ryder Chip, just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Don't worry, my cousin's got a guy.
Hey, I'm not sure I can help you with the house gas, but I can help you replace this window fast.
Let the experts at Feldco kickstart your home renewal with 2-for-1 windows and no interest for 1 year. Plus, we'll get it done Feldco fast.
2-for-1 windows won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
New at 5, UW-Madison students uncovered troubling revelations about Instagram and TikTok algorithms. News 3 Now takes an in-depth look at how AI software errors could affect your privacy.
We have alert day conditions in the forecast for tomorrow. We are expecting the possibility of severe weather. The full forecast is coming up at 5.
And ahead at 6, Mount Horeb students return to class today after the recent tragedy. At 6, we explore the landscape of school violence and safety with an expert. That's tonight on News 3 Now.
Welcome back. Hamas has agreed to a ceasefire proposal that was drawn up by Egypt and Qatar.
Well, the latest framework calls for the release of 20 to 33 hostages over several weeks in exchange for a temporary ceasefire. In return, there would also be an exchange involving Palestinian protesters held by Israel. Captive Israeli soldiers and the bodies of hostages would also be part of this agreement. Israel is reviewing the response from Hamas as both sides wait to see what's next on the eve of 7 months of war.
The planned invasion of Rafah, meanwhile, comes as Israel is cracking down on journalists in the country. Israeli police and officials entered news network Al Jazeera's broadcasting center in Jerusalem yesterday. The Qatar-based media network has been crucial in reporting on the war, but Israel says the network is biased towards Hamas and that reporters have harmed Israeli security. Network leaders call the move, quote, a criminal act.
The Democratic National Committee has requested judges throw out lawsuits related to voter rolls and mail-in ballots filed in 2 battleground states. Today, the DNC filed briefs on behalf of the Biden re-election campaign in Michigan and Nevada. The filing argues the lawsuits filed by the Republican National Committee are aimed at sowing distrust in 2024 in the election. The lawsuits allege the number of active voters in key counties in both states are suspiciously high and seek to have election officials cancel voter registrations ahead of November's elections.
Well, coming up next here on Live at 4, a community healing.
We are sitting down with the superintendent of Mount Horeb School District to see how the community is keeping Mount Horeb strong.
Lisa and I today because we are in the beautiful Bruce Company greenhouse and it feels lovely.
It's glorious. It's the most glorious place in Madison right now.
Oh, I love it.
So many colors, beautiful plants, makes your heart just go a little pitter-pat.
Oh, I'd like that. I'd like that. Mother's Day is approaching, speaking of pitter-pat, and you need to get on the clock because TikTok, find the gift, come into the Bruce Company.
Yes.
So let's just start with these beautiful.
Yeah, so we have really cute garden art. If your mom is somebody that likes something a little more permanent in the yard, we've got beautiful hanging baskets, gorgeous perennials, flowering trees, and then of course the boutique is just loaded with really special things.
Every time I come in, it's like a whole different boutique.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if you haven't been in a while, come in and check it out. But flowers, everyone has room for a hanging basket.
I think so.
Right?
I think so.
And if you're not the deadheader, you were pointing out some good ones for me.
There are some that don't require deadheading.
Right.
So there's something for everybody. Sun or shade. If you have a green thumb or maybe your thumb is a little bit tan, we can help you out.
And how about, you said the flowering trees. Is that a good Mother's Day gift?
I don't know. I would appreciate a flowering tree. Hello, kids.
All right, there you go.
Just saying.
Lisa's kids, get on board. Mother's Day gifts of all kinds.
Yes, and if you're not sure about what to get your mom, because sometimes that happens, we've got a great gift card deal going on. So if you buy a $50 gift card, you're going to get a $10 gift card free. Now, of course, you could give the $50 to your mom and keep the $10 for yourself, but I say your mom deserves that entire $60.
I mean, they did birth you, so give an extra thanks, a little bit of extra money, and let them pick out what they want. But a basket is always a great choice.
I think so too.
Or these.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. From the greenhouse, she's Lisa, I'm Emmy, and
we're buzzed into Madison.
My husband and I finally agreed that we need a new bathtub and shower, so he went right to work on it. I think he's procrastinating.
For a new bathtub or shower, just call 1-800-HANSONS. Installed in as little as 1 day with optional safety features and a no-leak guarantee. Get 50% off installation or no interest, no payments for 2 full years. Offer ends soon.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
As summer approaches, is your house ready? Over 7 out of 10 homes are poorly insulated. Is yours? Here are some of the signs. Is your house too cold in the winter? Is it too hot in the summer? Does your furnace and AC run almost non-stop? Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Are your energy bills too high? You don't need a new home. You need better insulation. Call now for $1,200 off whole home insulation plus a $1,200 tax credit.
USA Insulation.
Welcome back. As we showed you earlier, school was back in session for students in the Mount Horeb School District for the first time since Wednesday's threat.
The traumatic experience has been a lot for students and teachers to cope with, so the district tried to make the return today as smooth as possible. Superintendent Dr. Steve Salerno joins us now with more on how things went today. Dr. Salerno, welcome to Live at 4. Thank you for making the time today.
Well, thank you for your commitment to getting the facts out. We appreciate you both.
You're very welcome. Yes. We saw this over the weekend. We saw parents and community members writing notes in chalk for the students returning today, which was a very nice gesture. How did it go today on the first day back to class?
It felt like it was a first day of school, but this time here in May, and I could not have asked for it to go any better. And I think that's due in such large measure to a community, staff that just is a master class in resiliency. It really went very well.
Yeah, and you know, this is a lot for students to think about. So, you know, will you remind us, what was the school doing to make this as easy as possible and have resources available for them if they needed to talk?
Well, it wasn't just our schools, Brady, it was also our community that just wrapped their arms around us with such tender, loving care. We wanted to do everything we can to provide options for our students today in terms of their learning. We recognize that there are some students that weren't ready to talk about where their needs were, and there were other students who were readily wanting to talk about that. And so we had a number of counselors from the Office of School Safety, from the Department of Justice, as well as other guidance counselors from around the region who lent their time and talents to our kids and allowed us to kind of triage, if you will, the needs of individual students. Our goal was to differentiate as much as possible to meet their needs. And I would be remiss if I didn't forget to talk about all of the service animals and dogs that we had at our school today. A lot of really loving people who have service dogs that just warm the hearts and souls of our children and even adults.
That makes a big difference. Yes. Moving forward, Dr. Salerno, what do you think we can all do better as a community to try to identify students that are struggling or that need support, whether they're suffering in silence or maybe have a cry for help that we don't immediately recognize? How can we be proactive in preventing this from happening again?
Gosh, such a thoughtful question. Thanks for asking it. You know, the truth of the matter is our community's already doing that. We continue to have ongoing and open dialogues between the school as well as families, but that it's the work that our families are doing within themselves to meet the needs of their children, having courageous conversations with their kids about what they're seeing at school, being engaged with them. I know that people sometimes think that the older a child gets that maybe we shouldn't be as engaged, and I would argue that the exact opposite should occur. That's when we double down and we really get involved in their lives as much as possible. And school communities that are willing to invest in their buildings, their infrastructures to ensure that safety measures are implemented. Those go a long way in helping us be proactive in our efforts.
And very quick before we wrap up, you know, we both heard you say that, yeah, the referenda that has passed in the past years, did that help with this outcome?
Oh my goodness, yes. When I came here 8 years ago, I was excited about the charm of the community, and one of the things that I enjoyed was the fact that they didn't even lock the front doors of the school. Well, we know, based upon other experiences around the country, around the world, that we needed to adjust our thinking. We've evolved in our thinking, and had we not had a community that was willing to help us get to a yes on that, we could have had a very different outcome on Wednesday afternoon.
Well, thanks to you for all you do. Yes. Thank you for making the time, and we all continue to support you and everyone in the Mount Horeb community in the days ahead. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Solero, very much.
We feel it. Thank you.
It's good to hear that. Yes. We appreciate that very much. All right, to weather now. Let's head over to Jacob with more on what could potentially be a bumpy day tomorrow.
Yeah, we are expecting some scattered showers and storms both early and later in the day, but we also could see some rain into Wednesday. Excuse me. Late Wednesday into Thursday, with cooler temperatures expected by the time we get to Thursday. So as we take a look at the alert day information, all hazards are possible tomorrow, and this is also for all of southern Wisconsin. Initially, we thought the severe weather might stay near the Illinois border, but right now that threat exists for our entire viewing area. Current radar not showing anything right now, but that is going to change tomorrow with a marginal risk for our entire area during the daytime on Tuesday. So here's a look at the forecast. A few clouds later in the day, but otherwise we're going to remain dry through most of the overnight hours. But we'll start to see some of those showers and storms move into the western portion of our region just before sunrise Tuesday morning. And then our entire region is expected to see some showers and storms during the morning hours around sunrise and the few hours afterwards. But we're not expecting a lot of severe weather with that first round of precipitation. Dry conditions are then expected for the afternoon hours, and that will fuel the possible severe storms that could occur during the evening. But the severe weather during the evening will be a lot more of these isolated thunderstorms rather than that line of showers and storms that will impact our area during the morning. So during this time frame, kind of around 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., we could see some of these pop-up showers and storms produce severe weather, and then we are going to be dry by midnight. Now, total precipitation will depend on where some of those showers and storms form, but most of our area will see about at least 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, maybe a few isolated amounts higher. Now, looking at the hazards, we are expecting some hail with the thunderstorms, maybe some strong winds, a very small isolated tornado threat, but the threat won't be zero. But again, it is a very small risk. Now, looking at the 7 to 10 day forecast, the temperatures are going to be cooler for Thursday as that second round of rain could impact our area later in the day, Wednesday into Thursday. But temperatures will still be comfortable compared to what we've seen during the winter, but still highs will only be in the 50s, then lower 60s for Friday and Saturday. By the time we get to the end of the weekend, we'll be back near average, and then most of next week we'll have highs near 70 with a few chances of storms by the time we get to the middle of next week.
Hi, it's Preston with Window World, your locally owned and nationally known window company located right here in Madison. Come see what our Window World family can do for your next remodel.
It's time to let go and move on to something better. At Window World, get a beautiful new patio door professionally installed for just $3,700. Don't wait any longer. Visit windowworldmadison.com or
call us today.
Window World.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale, the 50-50-50 sale. 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today, get an 11% rebate on everything. Now at Menards. Complete your projects with GE Painters Pro Seal and Paint Caulk. It adheres to most materials, including painted surfaces. Pick it up for only $249 after rebate. Upgrade your existing recessed lighting with energy-saving LED downlights from Fight Electric. Go from regular lighting to nightlight mode with a flip of a switch. Get these LED downlights for just $14.99 each after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
We have alert day conditions in the forecast tomorrow due to possible severe weather. The full forecast will come up at 5.
Then UW-Madison students uncovered troubling revelations about Instagram and TikTok algorithms. We take an in-depth look at how it could affect your privacy. That's coming up next.
My kidneys are getting closer and closer to complete failure.
With so much left to live for, see how a Madison man and his family are moving forward in the challenging process of finding a kidney donor.
There's gotta be somebody out there.
Tonight at 6.
Well, take a look at this. A building in Lincoln, Nebraska being torn apart by a massive tornado. This dash cam video is from April 26th during an outbreak of severe weather. Terrifying, isn't it? The building was hit with winds as strong as 158 miles per hour. According to the local media there were dozens of workers inside, but thankfully no one was hurt. The National Weather Service said the tornado was one of 19 that destroyed hundreds of homes and businesses across Nebraska, Oklahoma, and also Iowa.
It's interesting like how the cars are just staying there.
Right.
Yeah, the building went away. Well, tonight is fashion's biggest night out. The Met Gala, hosted at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, is held every year on the first Monday of May. A parade of A-listers dress according to the theme, inspired by the museum's Costume Institute. Susan and I have already been checking out some of the photos. This year's theme on the red carpet is the Garden of Time, referencing a 1962 short story by the same name by author J.G. Ballard. The exhibition opens to the public in the days following the gala.
We'll have some highlights for you live at 4
Our
tomorrow.
favorites.
In Washington State, this guy, a zebra, has been on the lam for over a week. A herd of the striped runners bolted near an interstate, making their way through a local neighborhood. Imagine seeing that in your backyard. But one mare named Shug managed to evade the roundup and ran off on its own. Luckily, Shug was found this week nearly 30 miles east of Seattle and was transferred safely back to her owners.
Well, you know, just zebras doing zebra things.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be right back.